important, the myth of meditation, emotional intelligence, and so on. And even today, we have a very wonderful speaker with us and a very interesting topic with us to begin with. So, before we get right into the session, I just want to know that I hope you guys have been following up with all the sessions and doing all of your homeworks and seeing where your growth is taking you, because here it is not just about my growth or your growth. We all grow together since we are here to experience this life journey together. And we do firmly believe that when we are growing together as a team, as a family, it raises our vibrations, our consciousness, and also helps Mother Earth to gradually become more and more green and blue, just like a blue planet, which originally what it's supposed to be. So, all right, this is what we are hoping to do, to grow together, to glow together, and to smile together. And just to add with our smile, today we have a very wonderful speaker with us who is very interestingly coming all the way from Houston. She is an electrical engineer. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't be surprised if you get some shocks somewhere in the sessions, right? And she's a student, a very young, dynamic person, and she has been practicing meditation since 4 years. And I think somewhere or the other, because of meditation, she has been able to navigate through her college life quite well. Apart from being an electrical engineer and a student, she loves to, meditate, read books, spend time with nature, have wonderful time with her family. And today she's here with us to give her time, her precious time with this wonderful family as well. So it's none other than Sanjana, all the way from Houston. Hi, Sanjana.
Hi Pooja, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you? How's it been?
I'm good. I think it's morning here, but it's a different time of zone, right, in India?
Yeah, it is going great. It's the end of the weekend now, and we do have like people settling in to get ready for the upcoming week, the last week of the May month. And I think it's really wonderful that we sit and have this discussion at the end of the week, so that like when tomorrow comes, Monday, people can wake up with so much of inspiration, motivation, and clear mind, and then start their week. So pretty excited for the session.
Of course.
All right, Sanjana, I would love to have a discussion with you. But before that, let's just begin with meditation. I would request you to please guide all the participants to sit and start our meditation. And after that, we'll right get into the discussion.
Of course. Are you gonna play the music?
Yes, the background team will play the music. Please guide us on how to sit.
Okay. Everyone, gently close your eyes, cross your hands and your feet. Now take a deep breath in, exhale. Take another deep breath in and exhale. One more time. Take a deep breath and exhale. Now be thankful and show gratitude for all the things that are happening around you, for nature, for your family, for your friends, and experience happiness. body. Let a smile grace your face. consciousness. You are energy. Please, friends, one more minute. All right. Now come back to your mind. Rub your hands together. Fix them on your eyes. And slowly open. Now give yourself a round of applause.
Welcome back, everyone, from the wonderful meditation session. Thank you so much, Sanjana, for guiding us. It was really wonderful.
Yes, I felt the energies.
All right, then let's just get started. So before we dive into the session, I want you all to know that today Sanjana is here to share with us her insights, her experience, her thought process, her wisdom, everything basically about manifestation. So before we start, what exactly is manifestation, how to do it, why to do it, and all etc. questions. I have a very basic question for you, Sanjana. Why this topic? Why not anything else?
I think before I got into meditation, there was a lot of things that's going through my life. I was stressing out so much, and I unconditionally started doing things, right? I started writing things down that I wanted to do, I wanted to accomplish, and I worked towards them. And then when I started meditating, it pieced the puzzle together. I realized that what I was doing was I was manifesting things that I wanted in my life. And it has changed my perspective on so many things. And I'm very thankful to it. So this is why I wanted to talk on this topic.
Okay, so what uh, you mean to say that meditation helped you put the puzzle pieces together and manifestation became much easier and effortless too. So, what is the biggest thing that you have manifested in your life till?
So the biggest thing I manifested in my life is, my job. So as a college, biggest part of college is like getting that job, getting to that job position where you want to be. And so what I was doing, is I was going to a lot of college workshops, resume workshops, networking with companies, but I was lacking, I guess you could say that belief in myself, right? A belief in the universe that whatever I put out there is what's going to come back for me. And so when I started manifesting and I started putting all these things together, I started meditating with a purpose. And then that's how I was able to, receive the job position which I'm in today, and has made me feel so much better and has made me feel a lot more confident about things I want to do.
Oh, wow, that is really wonderful because most of the youth today, like we understand that either people who are like about to graduate or people who have graduated are looking for job do go through all this thought process of how do I find a job? Like manifestation isn't real, or how is that going to help me somewhere? Can you give us a little more detail about how exactly you, had this thought process of manifestation, a more brief version?
Yeah, so I mean, manifestation ideally has like it's a formula basically. So you have emotions, right? You have your thoughts, you have your intent, right? You want to make sure all of this is headed out towards the universe, like the thoughts you put out there in the universe. And not only that, is meditation is also in a sense it's an accelerator. Because when you meditate, you ideally you increase your frequency, right? You increase your positive emotions and thoughts. And when these positive emotions and thoughts are put out into the universe, the same thing that is reciprocated. And so ideally, this is what I was going through. If you're going to put all that effort, right, you have to also first believe in yourself and trust yourself that whatever you're going to put out there, whatever you believe yourself is what's going to come back to you. And that was my entire thought process, right? Because I was working very hard. I believed I'd get a job. And thing is, the universe knows what's best for you. It will point you in the right direction if you truly want something and you work hard for it. And that's was for me, right? I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just know I wanted a job. I wanted to start somewhere. And I was lucky enough where I started at a very good place and I was happy with what I received from the universe, I guess you could say.
Wow, that is actually really nice knowing that you need to work hard. That kind of tells us that action is also important. Having a strong thought, that is an intention that you're gonna get a job, and also believing in that is important. But Sanjana, how can someone practice this in their daily life? Because, for example, if I am going to a job interview right now and I sit in the office and I look at other people, there would be doubts in my mind. I would be like, okay, that candidate is here. What if he or she is more qualified? What if he or she is more experienced? What if? So usually the doubt comes in your mind when there is a lot of what if questions coming into your head. So please give us some tips or like how to deal with these kind of what if questions.
So I think, like I mentioned before, there's a couple of parts to meditation, right? Emotion and trust, like you believe in yourself. So my question to be, for you is you worked very, very hard, right? You have to believe in yourself that this hard work you put in will pay off, right? When you meditate, you're constantly building up your positive energies. You're constantly, I guess you could say, you're building the confidence in yourself that all this hard work I put in will pay off, right? The hard work I put in, I've left it now to the universe, and I believe what the universe will show me is going to be right. So if you have those little doubts in the back of your head, that's how you know that you're still not at that, that positive emotion or that right frequency where you reach confidence in your own ability. If you don't get that, if you that interview was not successful, it's okay, right? You are supposed to experience this and learn from your mistake and get better, right? Our soul comes down to this earth to be able to experience all the bad and good and spiritually evolve. So you need to treat this as an experience and learn from it.
That is really wonderful knowing that again, whatever comes my way, I have to take it as an experience rather than considering something as a success or as a failure. Uh, that actually brings me to my next question. How do you figure out that, okay, this was just an experience for me and this is actually pointing me towards the right direction? Because in that mindset, for a student, they feel like, oh my God, I scored low in my exam today. So their, morality even goes down and they don't know what to do. And when you don't know what to do, you don't even know what action should be taken. So what should we do in those kind of situations?
So the practice of letting go is definitely a journey. Doesn't come very easily to many people. But something I guess we need to understand is that whenever you put effort towards something, the most important thing is to have no expectation, right? You need to understand that you have done to your maximum capability. And when you don't doubt that capability, you can truly understand that this is a lesson and move forward, right? When one door closes, another door opens. You have to believe in that because that's the way the universe works. There's so many opportunities out there. So you can't let yourself be closed off to one thing and you have to learn from it.
Okay, you just use the word letting go. So how is letting go and manifestation related? Because when I say I want to manifest something, I constantly tell the universe, okay, universe, I just want a BMW. And how can I let go of that thought of wanting a BMW?
So I'm sorry, you said your thought was I want a BMW, but you want to let go of the thought?
Yeah, because you just spoke about you need to let go of it. So how do you create that balance of wanting something and simultaneously letting it go and not having
So,
that expectations?
right. So manifestation, like I said, has like multiple parts to it. And I would say the first half is, your affirmations, your emotions, your thoughts and intent. So if that would be, I want a BMW, right? You also have to do the process, how am I going to get there? How am I going to buy this BMW, right? How am I going to get the money to go buy this or go achieve that? And then the next half is because you've done so much work to getting it, you have a vision board, you visualize what kind of colors or features you want in that car. Now you could say, universe, I have done my job. Now it's your job to give back to me because you'll put that thought out into the universe and it will come to you one day or the other. You need to realize that again, have no expectations and whatever is best for you will come to you naturally.
Okay, so considering the same example, if I tell the universe that I have worked hard and I want a BMW and I don't get the BMW, I need to still have faith in universe, hoping that I am getting something better than a BMW.
So, I mean, manifestation is definitely a process, right? So, the clearer your goal or your roadmap is, the easier it is to manifest something, right? For example, something I've like, it was very wild, this manifestation, but I wanted to go to Bali for a very, very long time. And unconsciously, what I was doing was I was watching videos on it. I was listing down all the places I wanted to go to, the kind of travel process or documents I would need. And surprisingly, like 2 months later, I was able to go on that trip in the summer. So what you need to learn from this is that if you don't have that BMW yet, that means there's still some doubt or some issue that you're like questioning something somewhere because you don't completely believe in it and you haven't completed, I guess you could say, all the steps in like that process to finally achieve that BMW or that car that you really, really want.
That's a nice way to put it together. Knowing that uh, I have to be clear from my end makes the universe work for my favor in a much quicker and faster way. So I
Mhm.
just wanted to know how do we realize it's the time to let go? So like today I sit in meditation and tell the universe like okay I just want a car. So I just put one thought into the universe and tell like and I forget about it or I like need to do this. Keep telling the universe for a week, for a month. So it's like I need to know when I need to let go of that expectation. Not expectations, but that knowing that the universe is working in my favor. So how do I realize that now it's the right time to let go of it?
So the time to let go is really when you start feeling that hurt or pain from it, right? When you go through some action, you're like sad when you're like, we're not able to achieve that. You hit yourself at a lower frequency, and at the same time, you're attracting like negative things, right? For like negative events or such. So when you like are facing that kind of like negative emotions, you're developing bad karma in a sense because you're not treating your heart or your body well. And you're letting your thoughts and emotions control you. And that's the most important thing in letting go is you need to realize that if it's going to start controlling you instead of you controlling it, then you have to let go. You need to understand it's becoming toxic.
That's actually a very strong point. Knowing that you need to control your thoughts and your feelings and not letting them take control over you. Wow, wonderful. So, so do you mean to say that your entire manifestation process basically comes down to your thoughts? So it comes from your thoughts and then you feel about it. And you just spoke about, visualizations and affirmations. So thoughts,
Mhm.
feelings, visualizations, affirmations, manifestation, letting go. Is this how the flow is supposed to be?
Yeah, so ideally, when you manifest something, it's easier to manifest from the source, which is like the solar energy, comparing to manifesting from matter. So manifesting from matter is more like you're working really hard to do really well in a test, right? But manifesting from the source would be like you do it to like the maximum capability, and then again, like you have no expectations, you have let it go, right? But the thing is, when you're manifesting from the source, it's much easier to attract the things that you want, right? And ideally what happens is when you're sending these thoughts out into like the quantum field, you're basically that energy that you're sending out matches a certain frequency out there, and that same frequency is getting sent back to you. And that's why it's so much easier to manifest from the source. But thing is, manifestation, I like to call it like a tunnel. So when you enter the tunnel, right, you know that you see the light at the end of the tunnel. That's when you know you've manifested or you've achieved your goal. But everything has a ripple effect. So once you manifest that thing, you don't know if there's going to be consequences or any kind of situations that might arise because you've manifested that, right? So that's why, in a sense, that's why they say it's better to leave to the universe and just meditate. Because when you meditate, you naturally achieve better things, right? You naturally have more positive energies and you attract things that are good for you, even if it wasn't that necessarily like that car or that trip that you wanted.
Okay, so going back to your point of manifesting from the soul. So does that mean I manifest on my feelings, telling that, okay, I want to have the feeling of sitting in a supercar, driving, the car has to be of this color. I want to drive through the city, experience this. So, do I need to focus more on the feeling aspect and, raise my vibrations like what we spoke about right now? Or it is more like, oh no, I want this particular car only and be, very stubborn about wanting things in materialistic aspects.
It would be the first one because, okay, so ideally we are 1% matter and 99% energy. So we all have our own energy field, our aura. And the more you're aligned with yourself, your beliefs, and your truth, the more, the more things you're going to attract the things that you want, right? And if we're going back to, I guess, like the first method where you said you have to, trust your emotions, like you have to put the feeling behind it. That is what a lot of people lack in manifestation, right? They say their affirmations, they believe they're going to get it, but at the back of their mind, there's little doubt, right? They're unsure of how they're going to get it. They're like, oh, I don't really believe in it. They say it, but they don't necessarily believe in it. And that's why it's so, so important that you believe in yourself and in the universe that good things will only be heading your way.
Okay, well, that actually gave me more information, and actually, more than that, I have few more questions. You just spoke about affirmations, visualizations. So please break it down for us. Uh, what exactly do you mean by affirmations, and how important it is to have affirmations or do it when there's absolutely 100% belief in that, because you just said that affirming something and not believing it is it's it's not getting us anywhere. So
Mhm.
first thing would be, how do you raise your energy levels to believe in what you're talking, that is your affirmations part, and second thing is, how do you visualize it?
Sorry, can you repeat the first part? It's a very complex question.
Yeah. So tell us how important it is to raise our vibrations. You just spoke about, like, we are 99% energy. So in order
Mhm.
to have that energy, we need to raise our vibrations, I believe. So how do you as a person raise your vibrations?
So, I mean, I guess going back to the affirmations thing too that you also asked about is words are very, very powerful. And the way you word certain phrases or sentences is very important because if you're not clear on what you want, you don't know how something's going to turn out, right? You want to have a very clear vision. So when you're saying like these affirmations, right, to I guess you could say to like support what you want or what you need, you have to be very careful with how you word them. And at the same time, sorry. I have a really bad cough coming up.
Yeah.
Um, you also have to be like I said, very careful with what you say. And then the number one key is meditate. You have to meditate a lot because when you meditate, it's a natural method of increasing your frequency and your vibrations. Because when you meditate, your brain becomes coherent, right? Now you're part of a consciousness, you're part of the energy, you're not matter anymore, right? That's why they say, observe your breath and let your thoughts pass. When you have no thoughts, your brain works much better, it functions more, things are much more clear, and you can visualize better too. And I think that's like the biggest thing that really helped with manifestation would be meditation.
Okay, so that means we need to be very careful about what we talk. Does that also mean every time uh, I'm having a conversation with myself, that means, I'm just about to end my day in my bed under the blanket, getting all cozy and comfortable, drifting off to sleep. Most people tend to have certain thoughts running in the back of their head at that point, and we tend to filter out those thoughts. Is it important that we say positive things to ourselves in that point?
It's very important to, I guess, start your day with a positive note and end your day with a positive note. Thing is, if you're recalling things you've done throughout the day, that like, oh, I wish I did this better, oh, I shouldn't have said that, then don't judge yourself. Don't beat yourself up over it, right? You need to do the act of letting go. Like it has passed, as you have to move on from it. Because again, if you're ending on a negative note, you're again going to be attracting those negative thoughts or those negative events, right? So you definitely want to end the day on a positive note because you wake up the next morning, you want to feel refreshed. You don't want to wake up tired, thinking about something that's going to be coming up or something you've done bad, because then you haven't forgiven yourself.
Okay, point noted. So if that is the case, then when are we supposed to practice affirmations? And is it like, are we supposed to do it before going to bed, or as soon as we wake up, or something like, standing in front of the mirror so that we are looking at our own reflection and like talking?
I personally I think it depends upon the person, but for me, what I like to do is I read my affirmations in the morning. And thing is, I feel like my affirmations are a little bit more general compared to like specific things, right? So for me, like I have two things I really like to tell myself. Number one would be I am happy, healthy, and wealthy. By the way, I did not make these things up. It's something I've read, what
Mhm.
people have said has worked for them. And thing is, I feel these three are like help you get into that state of abundance. Because when you're in that state of abundance, you naturally, you don't have to chase, you attract, which is my second one, which is my second affirmation, right? You don't want to work hard to get something. You naturally radiate so much positivity. You're the embodiment of happiness. So you naturally attract what you want.
Okay, so yeah, that was, I think you have two affirmations that you use every day for yourself, right?
Yes,
Yeah, can
I
you
am
please
happy.
share those
Yeah.
with us?
I'll type them out later, maybe in like the group chat. But it's just two one. I am happy, healthy, and wealthy, right? Because who
Mhm.
needs? You don't need anything else. If you're happy, you have everything you want, right? And then
Yeah.
number two, I don't chase, I attract. I think there's a problem, with this generation where we work so hard. You know, we stress out. There's so many things that are going on in our head. We overthink. But when you meditate and you radiate positive energy, you believe in yourself. You don't have to chase or work as hard or stress out about not getting the task. It will naturally come to you.
So when you talk about things naturally coming to you, that means I need to have that patience with me, knowing that things are coming to me, and also keep doing my work, like doing my action. Is that right? Or you just, because manifestation also talks about surrendering. So I just
Mhm.
wanted to please put some light on surrendering aspect and how we can practice it.
Okay, so the surrendering aspect comes from like the belief that you have in the universe or in like that energy to return what you want, right? And usually, this belief, like in the universe, kind of comes from practice. And it's very hard to really let go of expectations, at the beginning, because you feel that you work so hard that you deserve something, right? Just have to be reciprocated in some way. I studied really hard for this test, so I haven't get a really good grade back. But that's not how the world works, right? So when we're talking about like surrendering to the universe, I think you have to believe in yourself that you did so much good work that good will only come back to you. In a sense, you control that, right? Because you believe that I put something good, and because of this good vibe, something good will come back. It might not be what I exactly expected, but something good will come back because that's like the law of the universe, karma.
Okay, because every time we hear the word surrender, it means that you don't do anything. People often get confused knowing that surrender does not what surrender actually means, and often they come up to this thought that surrender means not taking action. So, how do you define that once you take an action, you're supposed to surrender to the universe and let go?
So, okay, I guess this is a question where surrendering is different from giving up. Giving up means that like you're avoiding the problem, you're avoiding the issue or the result. But surrendering is more like you know you did everything you can to accomplish it, but now I don't have control over it anymore. I'm gonna let the universe take care of what it needs to do. And this is where it's very important because I think a lot of people think that, like you said, surrendering is like, oh, it's okay, I'm just gonna give up now. I'm not gonna do anything towards it. But that's wrong. Surrendering is the step that comes after you've done everything, not at the beginning.
Okay, so it's more like doing everything I can and my best, and then raising up my hands and telling, "Okay, universe, it's up to you."
Yes.
Wonderful. That's lovely. I just wanted to go back to another word that you mentioned is like visualizations. So please walk us through that process and how does that work?
So, as I mentioned before, the more clear your roadmap or your goal is, the easier it is going to be to manifest. And this is what visualization is all about, right? For example, if you're going to a job interview, right, you're going to start preparing for questions beforehand. You're going to start, in a sense, visualizing how am I going to dress? What are the questions they're going to ask me, right? What is the kind of job price I'm going to negotiate with, right? So when we're talking about visualization, you need to kind of plan out everything that you can or you think you can expect, right? Because that is the only way, the more clear it's going to be, the easier it is going to be for you to manifest or be prepared for that situation. And so there's a lot of people who, something I actually like to do is like create like a vision board, right? Put all the things you want to do or be on the board, right? Things that inspire you. But thing is, just looking at it and like creating one is not going to be enough, right? You're going to be like, how am I going to take the steps to get there? Right? Even if I'm not promising results, I know that I've like done all these steps to become a better person or become better at this task. So the more you visualize, the easier it is to manifest something you want.
Okay, so the more clear our vision is, the more easier it is for us to manifest. So, visualizing something, does that mean visualization is only our creative thinking, or it is something much more than that?
Visualization is definitely more than creative thinking. Like, I believe creative thinking is more of like a step on the way, right? Because you start with creative thinking, you start thinking like, oh, I want this, I want to be dressed like that, I want this kind of questions, right, for a job interview. But then the next step would be to put the emotion behind it, right? Only if you feel like that emotion, that, oh, I have succeeded, even if you're not there yet, you feel that emotion of success, you know that you're gonna achieve what you want. So when I went job hunting, I've had like two interviews. The first one, it was okay, it was my first time. I learned from it, I moved on. And the second one, after I answered the question I prepared, you could already feel that emotion. I was like, I'm gonna get this. I already feel that I can get it, right? Because that emotion you put behind it, you visualized it. You already can feel, I'm feeling that same emotion now, so I know this is gonna be successful, right? And that's, you could tell that emotion you associate with it, you can also feel it much later after the task is completed, and that's how you know you've been successful.
That's wonderful. Because visualization, often people associate visualization something as having a picture or more like a painting in their head, where they're trying to control all the aspects. So again, I think we just spoke about surrendering. So knowing that you have to be aware of what you can do and not having expectations at the same time, letting go, doing what you can do and surrender. It is all like a puzzle piece what you have to put together in your mind.
Yeah, I mean, so the thing is, it is a puzzle piece like that you have to put together, but it's very important, I feel, to like write it down, like you said, create that board that you see physically every single day. And the reason why is because we only use 5% of our brain, right? There's like 95% that we don't use. So our head has a lot of thoughts. But when we are able to like put it down physically, like on a document, on a paper or something, and you're building like that roadmap, in a sense that you creating that mood board or the vision board was like the first step you're going to take. And it starts a process, right? Because you have so many tasks in your like everyday life, right? So that you're not going to always remember it. But occasionally remembering it because it's in front of you is definitely going to help with that process.
That is wonderful because, oh my God, this is really amazing. This is a great pointer, Sanjana. Knowing that all the way from my thought creates my feeling, and my feeling has gives is able to raise my frequency. So if I have thought of fear, I'll definitely get the feeling of fear, and the whole manifestation will not come into my reality. So the thought is basically coming all the way from knowing that, okay, I believe in myself and I believe in the universe that the universe is going to give me what I want. And this thought is going to lead me to feel that, okay, I'm going to get this car, my dream car. I'm going to be sitting in that, going around my city. And from feeling, we come to a state of raising our vibrations and our frequency. And then comes all these affirmations, visualizations, uh, letting go and surrender. Wow, that is actually a very deeply constructed chain of thoughts. Again, very well said. So, if you had to give up, give us a really brief on all this. So, just give us that.
Like a brief on what exactly? Unlike giving up, letting
The
go, or
whole, no, the whole manifestation concept.
well, okay, my whole manifestation concept. Okay. So everything obviously starts with thought, right? And you have to put that thought into action. So to kickstart your process, like I said, I would do like a vision board or kind of like write down the things I want to accomplish or do, right? And then once you've like accomplished that, right, what you're gonna have to do now is you're gonna have to start feeling that emotion, that happiness, right, of imagining that you've achieved that. Even if you have a little bit of doubt, that thought is sent out to the universe. Everything that you think that you do is sent out to the universe. So you need to really believe in yourself. For example, some people will say, "Oh, I'm gonna win the lottery." They say it, they don't know if they're gonna mean it, right? They don't know if they truly believe in that. There's still that doubt's like, "Oh, how is that possible? I'm just one person of the million who's gonna run for the lottery." So you really have to believe and put emotion behind that. And the reason why I say emotion is important is because positive emotions mean higher frequencies. And higher frequencies are easier to attract in the energy field. And thing is, like I said, whatever you put out there, you attract, right? So if you're gonna put doubt or any kind of confusion or even like sadness, any negative emotions, you're at a much lower frequency and you're gonna attract lower frequencies. And the thing is, a really easy method to increase those frequencies is to meditate, right? Because when you meditate, like I said, your brain becomes more coherent, your aura is much stronger because you're aligning yourself with the soul, not your mind, your emotions. You're aligning yourself with the soul. And that automatically, raises your positive emotions and you attract those positive energies or their vibes. And that's the whole like manifestation process. But again, like I said, manifestation is a tunnel. You don't know the kind of ripple effect that can be caused by your manifestation. And I guess that's why, like I said, my affirmations of being happy, healthy, and wealthy are so important of like the way you word your affirmation. So you're not, I guess you could say, attracting anything that could be like not as good as you wanted.
Wow, that was wonderful talking to you. And I need to open the floor to all the participants so that if they have any questions or any queries or share their experience of their own manifestations, what they've done, So it will be nice to hear from people about their experience as well. And if anyone, if you have any questions, please feel free to raise your hand. Sanjana is all yours to answer all your questions. You can also ask us any questions in the comment sections as well. The stage is all open to the audience.
I must have explained it really well or something. No questions.
Hi, Sanjana.
Oh,
Oh, there we go.
It was really amazing session with the clarity that you explained about how you just have your intent clear about what you want, and if it is really meant to you and you work for it, it just happens. And I've heard from one of the master that okay, you really want it badly, but it's not happening. And how many times you give it a try was one of the questions. So what do you answer for that?
If you're working really hard and you're still not able to achieve it, right? You need to start questioning yourself. You need to be like, is this something that I really want? Is this something that's going to be truly good for me? And if you feel that the answer to those questions are yes, then you need to start also asking yourself, what am I questioning? Where is this doubt in myself? Because if you're not able to achieve something, that means there's some doubt, something somewhere in yourself you're questioning. It's like, am I able to handle this goal or this responsibility, right? There must be something that's holding you back. And if you're asking about how many times one should try to do it, that is truly upon yourself, right? You have to know when to let go, which is if your thoughts and emotions are controlling your actions, that's when you know that you should let go and probably not try anymore. It's not meant for you. That's a wonderful question. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Sanjana. And one more question was like, how did you arrive at this understanding about manifestation? Like, did you read it somewhere, or is it something that you heard from someone, or it just happened naturally and you followed these steps for manifestation? Where do you get this formula and understanding about manifestation?
So I think before I even knew the concept of manifestation, I was unconsciously doing it. But after I got into meditation, I actually understood the process and what it was. So some of my favorite books I've like read so far is called The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. And it's a really good book. It kind of shows you experiences of different people who have manifested and the kind of mistakes like they have done throughout that process. For example, a lady was trying to like manifest her ideal partner, and she was doing all the affirmations, emotions, and everything, but in her house, like that space for that extra person, she didn't have it there, right? For example, she took the entire closet up, and in order to change this, her action, what she started doing was she left half her closet open for her partner, right? She would leave her garage, half her garage for her partner's car. And when she started doing these things, right, subconsciously, she was able to attract her like ideal partner. And I think I realized that subconsciously you do so many actions you don't realize they actually have the effect. Even if you put the emotion behind it, you're subconsciously taking actions that go against what you want or what you mean. So it's very important when you take the right actions. And then another two books I've also really good are You're the Placebo by Dr. Joey Dispenza. This one's very good. The whole point of the book is to show how thoughts can really control like the results or things that are happening to you, right? You shouldn't let your thoughts or emotions control your mind. And the other one is also How to Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. That's a very amazing book because she was actually a cancer patient. And just through manifesting, I wouldn't say necessarily manifesting, but through meditation, getting an understanding of life and emotions, she was able to completely heal from it. And I think she was at a third stage cancer patient and she was able to completely heal from that. And they're all wonderful books to read, really.
Thank you, Sanjana, for a wonderful session. It was lovely hearing to you.
Thank you. I think there's some questions in the chat.
Yeah. So this Prachi, her question is how to remove that fear of I am capable of doing it, be it anything to achieve.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. Can you repeat that?
Okay, so we have Prachi's question in the comment box, and her
Oh,
question is how to remove that fear of I am capable of doing it in order to achieve something.
how to remove the fear of I'm capable of doing it. Are you saying like I'm incapable of doing it? Like you're removing the fear of I'm incapable of doing it? Is that, I'm assuming that's what she's asking?
Yes, I guess.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
So, I think I mentioned this before, but meditation is a great way to increase positive energy and increase like confidence, right? The frequency in your life of like your functioning body. So when you naturally increase like your meditation practice, right, you automatically gain those emotions or the confidence in your own ability to go through something. Thing is, when people meditate, a lot of answers actually come to them from the universe because the universe is sending them thoughts through those energy fields, right? And it's going to tell you whether you're really capable of doing it or not, right? It's going to make you really question yourself. So if you want to overcome any kind of fear or any questions you have, you can meditate and you will definitely find the answer. Or if you can't find the answer yourself, the universe will send someone in your life who can answer the question for you.
Wow. I hope Prachi, your question is answered. Yeah. Thank you for asking the question. So we have another question by Ankur. His question is how we should tackle the bad thoughts which are repeatedly troubling and distracting us from the task we are manifesting about.
Okay, that's also a question. That's also something I've dealt with a lot. So when you're talking about like bad thoughts, dealing with manifestation, things that come up, I think it really helps when you, again, I guess you say start writing things physically, right? When people start to journal, they start journaling the bad and the good. And when people write it down, in a sense, it's kind of like it's out of your mind because you've written it down, you placed it somewhere else, right? So when you're trying to tackle negative emotions, dealing with manifestation, I think the first thing you should really like do is meditate and find out where is this doubt coming from? Why are you questioning yourself, right? What are you so afraid of that these bad thoughts are coming from, right? It might be better to talk to someone about it or question yourself in meditation. And if you can tackle actually that fear instead of like those bad thoughts, your bad thoughts will naturally stop, right? If you can find out what are you so afraid of, then you can definitely tell when your bad thoughts are going to stop and get better and actually manifest something you want to do.
Ankur, I hope you heard Sanjana and I hope you are happy with her answer. If you have any more questions, please do text us. And there's another person asking, where are you, Sanjana? Where
Where
are you
am I as in life?
located? Maybe.
I'm in Houston, Texas, United States of America, which is like the southern tip of the United States, like very close to Mexico.
Okay. Any more questions, people?
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. I hope I didn't talk too fast and people understood me.
No, definitely not.
Thank you, Vishnu. Thank you.
Yeah, yes. Sanjana, I just have a very quick question for you from the host of today's session.
Hello.
This as a part of their daily routine.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? It got cut off towards the beginning. Hello? Oh, I think Pooja has loose connection or something.
Yeah, I'm back again.
Okay. Wonderful.
Yeah. So I just wanted to know if you could give us any homework or any task. And first thing is, I want to know, can we practice affirmation?
I heard affirmations, and can we start? That's like we're cut off at the affirmations part.
Yeah. Is my video and audio correct now?
Yes, it's died now. Yes.
Okay. So I just wanted to know, like, we need some tips from you on how to practice affirmations. I think it's high time that all of us listening to this podcast, this session, will start their having affirmations as a part of their life routine. So, is there anything that we need to consider before having our own, customized affirmations for ourselves?
Like I said, affirmations are very, very powerful. Words are very powerful. So you need to be very careful with what you're saying because you need to be specific enough at the same time, like you want to accept all the good that's coming towards you, right? If you don't carefully word something, let's say like I want a BMW. That's not enough. You want to be like, I want a BMW X3, black color, maybe white interiors, things like that. So you need to be very specific because if you ask for one thing, the other aspects might not match with what you want in your mind, right? So when it comes to like a task to be given out, I think a great thing, a good kickstart to your manifestation process is create a vision board. Put all the things that you want to do or accomplish on a board that you can see somewhere every single day. Maybe it's your phone screen, maybe it's like a poster you have on your wall. I think that'd be a great idea to start to kickstart your manifestation process. And then for affirmations, like I said, carefully word them. There's many affirmations online. They're really wonderful. And if you want to borrow theirs, borrow it because they become successful just like that, right? Just the same process that you did before. So definitely have proper affirmations. And I would say read them in the morning, I think morning is like the best way when your mind is very clear and you can actually experience the emotions associated with it because you're not too worried about anything else.
Okay, so I guess starting from today, me and the rest of the people here with us are gonna have this as a part of our daily routine, making sure that we affirm the correct words and we put the right intention out there in the universe. We are crystal clear about it, and we also visualize it apart from having words just to affirm. And most importantly, you have been stressing out the entire session is how important it is to have a belief system in it. Knowing that you're not just saying simply something, but knowing that it's going to work in your favor. So it was really great talking to you, Sanjana. And it's very unfortunate that the session was so short because we do know that manifestation itself is a very deep topic, and with given time constraint, you really did your best and beyond to give us with a lot of insights and experiences and tips. So I really thank you for sharing your experiences and wisdom with us and giving your time with us.
Thank you so much, Pooja. You're a wonderful host. You made me really think, and question everything I've done.
Thank you so much. That really means a lot to me. So, to everyone listening to us or anytime, whenever you need this, again, I believe the reason why you're watching this or will be watching this is because universe wanted you to watch this. That's again your manifestation coming to you through us. So, we are more than happy to be the source through which you're receiving all this. Please stay tuned in with us for further upcoming sessions. And by saying this, it's time for us to end the session here. Thank you again for joining all. Love and light. Peace.
Thank you.
Bye bye. Have a good day.